Hey everyone, I'm Emmanuel Manny and this is Nikolai Design. We're transforming the world one room at a time. Guys, before we start, please like this video, subscribe down below, turn on your notification button. For this video, we're going to be working on part one of kind of a two-part series. This is going to be the office nook area for my current bedroom. It was previously my grandfather's studio room and it had a little kitchenette in it. And I didn't need that little kitchenette because there's literally a kitchen right on that side of the wall. So first part of this was to remove all the cabinets. I didn't record it because my dad did it while I was at work. Then we removed the popcorn ceilings. I hate popcorn ceilings. Oh, the ceilings came out so nice. It looks so good. Sometimes at night I admire the work that the handyman did, and it looks so good. After that, it was time to paint. For paint, I chose a cream color and I didn't like it because it felt a little too yellow. Then I went and I purchased another one, and then that one also felt too yellow, or more pink than yellow, and I didn't like it. It was either I spent another $40, I had already spent $80 on paint, or I can just mix all the paint I have at home and try to come up with something. So all that mixed paint ended up being what you see behind me, a really light faint gray, and I love how it came out. I was honestly trying to avoid grays because grays are kind of played out and creams are kind of in now, but I love how the color came out. So that's what our office color ended up being. The next step was to cover that old white tile. I went with some vinyl flooring from Floor & Decor. So you have this one. You see how it's not as orange as it looks in that video. And then you have this one. I don't know, I think they both look really nice. The camera picks them up just a little bit differently. I think that one might be the one I go with, but I also really like the tone of this one. It was actually the first time that I had ever installed or worked with these, but it's pretty simple. You guys can do it yourself if you're DIYing your floor at home, and because they're already come padded, you can literally just lay this over your tile and you don't have to remove the tile. So it was so much easier than having to rip up all that tile. So we did that. It was a pretty simple task. It probably took me about a day to do the room and the office. Had I had the proper tools on hand, that would have been a few hours. But I was also new to it and I wanted to make sure that it came out right. So then the next challenge for me for this office was honestly the fact that I needed storage, but I also wanted an office space where I could work. So if you guys notice behind me, those are cabinets, right? They're built-in, it's like a built-in closet essentially, but it's less space than what I used to have. I needed something that was functional for me in the office. For a few months, I was just sketching up different ideas in my head where I could maybe have a desk, and then right here have a shelf, and then that would be what I would use. So I was browsing on OfferUp one day and I stumbled upon a secretary's desk, and I was like, this is what I need. And it was perfect because I'm going for it's like a French provincial but with a modern twist in my room. So those secretary's desks tend to be very antique-ish looking, and it was the aesthetic that I wanted for the room. After a few weeks, I found this black secretary's desk that was located in Pompano. I live in Miami, so it's an hour away. It had been listed for $200, and I think it was on OfferUp. So usually if something's been listed for a few weeks or a few months, that means the person's not getting many offers or traction on their listing. So I went ahead and I offered the lady $50, and she came back and said, I'll let it go for $90. And I said, okay, I'll take it. That night I'm at work. I used to work the night shift. She calls me around 8 p.m. She's like, hey, I was cleaning the unit and it kind of fell and it got scratched. I'll give it to you for $40. And I'm like, girl, I don't even have to negotiate. I was like, oh, don't even worry about it. I'll take it. I'll be there first thing tomorrow. Because regardless, I was planning on sanding the piece and repainting it since it is an older piece. But she did the work for me and I didn't have to negotiate more. It was heavy, really heavy. It's solid wood and it has a lot of storage, and she's a big mama.
Somebody throw Shamu back in the ocean! Wow! Okay, let me get you something else, okay?
So it was perfect because it had all the storage that I needed. And literally, guys, when I tell you this unit, not even half an inch. Like it barely fit. Like
Back!
Who is that?
Ooh, you're never gonna get that big old head in this tiny hole.
we had to take the trim off of the doors so we could slide it in, and then I had to put the trim back in. Ugh, but so worth it. The unit came with like some silver basic handle. Obviously we're going for gold because we're going antique. So I purchased some gold handles from Amazon, and then the ones in the bottom, I honestly like the silhouette of them, the shape. So I painted those gold. Long story short, I ended up opting for not repainting the unit, but I still wanted to cover the glass with something, and I had two options. It was like a stained glass paper that you would put behind, and it like sticks to the glass and it gives that illusion, but it didn't feel right. It honestly felt cheap. It didn't look good. It had good reviews online, but honestly it wasn't the aesthetic that I was going for. And then my next option was to go for like a burlap, which burlap I do like in some instances. Like I said, I tried to use these, but they don't look cute. Like they just really do not look good. Now the burlap is just starting to look a little bit better, and I think it's gonna go really well with the woven cane on the back of the chair that I'll be using. So we're just gonna go ahead and use it. When I put it up, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. And like, this is my room. This is a space that needs to inspire me to work in. So I was like, oh, what do I do now? Like, I really don't have another solution for this. I brought in a few friends and I asked, like, what do you guys think? And they're like, oh, it looks okay. It looks okay. And like, some people living in an okay space is good. Like, not for me. Like, my space needs to feel like it's yours. Like, it needs to feel special. Like, it needs to feel like you put your love into it. So I was just browsing on Reddit one day, and I just say I thought because a lot of my friends don't like it. But what I thought was a beautiful picture of like, it's like a framed canvas and it's hanging over a tub, and it's like painted dandelions or something, and I really really loved it. And I was like, what if I paint the burlap that I have, give it some dandelions? That's the one. Because it looked like burlap, the canvas looked like burlap, and for some reason my eyes were like, that's burlap. And like, if you look at the picture, it's not, but I'm glad that my eyes tricked me into thinking that it was, because otherwise I wouldn't have thought of painting on the burlap. When I tell you that, to me, it looked so much better when I painted these fucking dandelions on there. I love how this looked. My friends are like on the fence about the dandelions. I mean, you guys tell me what you think about the dandelions. I love them. Art is very personal to everyone, so something that someone else likes I probably wouldn't like, but I could still appreciate the artistry behind it.
Shut the fuck up!
I hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe down below. Share this video if you do like it. Oh, my socials. Instagram is nikolai.design. If you want to follow my personal, it's @EmmanuelManny. Take care, guys.